Hello everyone. Today on the Make Home News, we have special guest Atticus Finch here to answer some questions. Our first question for you is, how do experiences of youth and childhood provide a foundation for life? And how do they affect children mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually?
I personally believe that at a young age, the youth is shaped from experiences that allow them to make their own decisions. The foundation of your life starts when you're young, through the things that you witness and have experienced either emotionally or physically. This will either shape you to have a strong foundation, being independent and strong, or have a weak foundation.
Solid point. How do relationships with others affect the identity, values, and beliefs of children and adolescents?
The people around us every day change how we think, act, and portray ourselves. To everyone around us in my house, I value manner and respect over everything. I raised German Scout to be respectful people of the society. This would be different than a family raising their children with no manners and no respect for others.
How do children and youth perceive themselves today? How do others perceive them? How do influence and identities that the children and youth have for themselves?
At the time, youth perceive themselves like they have everything figured out, but older people like myself view them as more vulnerable because of their age. And as I said before, everyone in these children's lives mold them to the person that they grow up to be.
How and why have the roles of children and youth changed over the years?
The roles of children change just as everything else changes over time. We have to adapt to the things we experience in order to grow as a person. A child's lifestyle may be extremely different now than it was 100 years ago.
What are your thoughts about the trial? Who was guilty in your opinion?
Well, I believe that I stated many valuable and true points against the story that you all told, and each was proved to be correct, and in the end, I guess it just wasn't my decision.
I see. Did you think the jury's verdict was reasonable and fair, or was it based off of skin color?
I strongly believe the verdict of the trial was based off of skin color. How could people not believe the story of an innocent man when the opposition story did not make sense?
Do you think this is something that kids like German Scout should have to experience?
I think that every child has bad experiences, and things don't always go their way. German Scout ended up being a bit more involved into the trial than I would have liked. The incident with Mr. Eagle was a good learning experience for them, as awful as it was.
Very awful experience. How would this event impact a kid, in good and bad ways?
Kids often believe what they are told to believe. In this case, they believed Tom was not guilty, which got them in a bit of trouble down the road. Even if children didn't understand this at the time, one day they'll look back at it and start to understand the way society works.
Do you think that there should be a change in the way blacks are treated?
Of course, I believe every person should be treated fairly, no matter their skin tone, religion, or where they're from.
I see. And our final question for you today is, are you happy that you decided to take Tom Robertson's case?
I'm glad that I decided to take this case and try to prove a man's innocence, but I first took the case because I did not want to look bad on the community and disrespectful towards the blacks. Throughout the trial, I developed a good relationship with Tom, so it was very saddening to me when I heard about his death.
Very saddening. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for having